Hi everybody, Fintan here from Dams in Cloud. This week I want to talk about how a Google partner adds value. It's quite interesting because it's actually 10 years since the Google Cloud Partner Program launched. It launched in January 2009 and it has changed a lot over that time, both the products that partners can resell and the actual program itself. And I thought it might just be an interesting time to do a little bit of a retrospective and talk specifically around how a partner adds value for a customer. Compared to other products like maybe Microsoft or IBM or SAP, where there are maybe hundreds of thousands of partners all over the world, Google's partner program only has about 10,000 or maybe 15,000 partners globally, as far as I'm aware. And so that actually lends itself to quite a lot of collaboration between partners. And we would work very often with companies that would be traditionally thought of as our competitors. So when we're thinking about a Google partner and we're thinking about the different areas of where they add value, the first one that comes to mind has to be the expertise, because Google partners spend a huge amount of time, and I go to a lot of these events and training and things like that, and I see other partners there learning and evaluating and taking in knowledge about the products and the services that they provide to customers. So if you get a really good Google partner, they're going to have an in-depth knowledge of each of the products and services that they're going to be reselling to you as a customer. And what that means is they're going to be able to tell you how that product or that change within your business is going to impact your organization, and are going to be able to help guide you in making the most informed decision for your business. So that's the first thing, and as I said, probably the most important. The second thing is that partners have not just a knowledge of G Suite and Google Voice and Google's sort of breadth of products, but there's also an entire ecosystem of what Google calls ISVs, or integrated service vendors. And ISVs create products that integrate with Google's platform in some way. So an example of these might be Hapio, which is a digital transformation or digital workplace tool, Better Cloud or Cloud Manager, which is both of those are admin tools. You've got GAT, which is the general audit tool. And all of these tools are integrating with Google and sort of augmenting the Google environment or G Suite environment. And they allow customers to do more with the platform. So one of the most common questions we might get from a customer might be, how do I manage signatures within G Suite? Natively within the product, I'm not able to do that, and I'm trying to figure out, how I can have the same signature for all of my employees across the organization. A good Google partner is going to know that there are several tools out there, like the Cloud Manager tool, that will be able to facilitate that and allow you to actually have a signature across the organization, along with a lot of other things the tool does as well. But for a customer, they don't need to go out and investigate that themselves. They can just talk to their partner, and their partner is going to be able to recommend the top 1 or 2 or 3 products that they would see as being the one that fits their particular challenge or problem. Is around security, and I mentioned this previously that there are some additional security products, but even within G Suite itself, how your Google environment is actually set up can be more secure or less secure. And again, knowledge of the product will mean that you can set up the G Suite environment in a much more secure fashion. So having a Google partner generally means that a customer's environment, their email and collaboration platform, is more secure, because Google partners are able to advise their customers based on the knowledge they have of them, because it's the combination of those two things. Google partners know lots about the Google platform and things like G Suite, and then the customer has the knowledge about their business, and it's the amalgamation of those two pieces of information that allow you to create the G Suite environment for particular to your organization and customize it to your business. So We've had customers in the past that maybe have a requirement to have very stringent or very strict security protocols in place. And based on our discussions with them, we would say, okay, well, these are the settings that you should have in place within G Suite. And if they were to move to the product by themselves and do it by themselves, they may not be aware of that. And that's happened to us before, where we've taken on a customer that was maybe originally direct with Google, and we've helped them realize that through a security audit they actually have some gaps in their security, and here's the changes that they need to make in order to fill those gaps. So a more secure G Suite environment is possible if you have a Google partner, or more likely if you have a Google partner. The next one on my list is staying up to date with Google's products. Google's products, by their very nature, change all the time. Google are always updating the product. That's the whole point of software as a service and of the cloud, that the product is continuously improving. But that comes with its challenges, because as a customer, you're focused on your own business, and you can't necessarily keep up to date with these things on a regular basis. But for us as Google partners, that's what we do. That is quite literally our jobs, is to stay up to date with these things. And many Google partners will create videos like this one, or blog posts, or newsletters that they'll send out to customers, keeping them abreast of the changes that are happening in the product. But not just the changes to the product that are going to impact them. So we would often contact a specific customer and say, dear Mr. Customer, this particular change to G Suite is going to impact you specifically because of how we understand your business works. And as I said, that comes back to the Google partner understanding how your business works and understanding the platform as well. The next area is getting more from the platform. And I've talked about this in previous videos, doing things like transformation labs, which are Google sort of innovation workshops, where you can re-engage with Google or with the Google platform and just ensure that you're maximizing your usage of it. So that's one area, and I think that's really important. I'll link to the Transformation Lab video below, because I think Transformation Labs are a great way of leveraging more from the product. But I've talked about that previously, and many Google partners will be trained in doing Google Transformation Labs, and so you can talk to your Google partner about those. But it's not just Transformation Labs. Very often it's simple things. So when a customer starts working with us, they will initially think that they need support because the system's going to break down, and they're used to that break fix scenario maybe with the traditional server, and they're going to have to log a ticket and say, hey, this is broken, can you fix it? What they learn is that the Google system tends not to break down, and when it does, Google are working on it and they fix it. So the support you're getting from a partner is less about that break-fix relationship and more about how can I? That's kind of how I phrase it. So how can I do X with the Google platform? And so it's about learning what the platform can do for your business. And it might be a simple question like, I'm trying to achieve this. Me and my IT team have been working on it and we haven't been able to make it work yet. What would you advise? And they're very often the types of questions that we would get from customers. And we love those questions because we can engage with the customer and we can say, we did this with another customer before and here's how it worked for them, or we haven't seen that before, and we'll go off and investigate it and come back to them maybe with a couple of solutions. So we love those kind of challenges because it's showing that the customer is using or wants to use the product more and leverage more from the platform. So they're the best kind of support tickets for us, really. And the next area kind of leads on from the previous one. It's advanced support. And it comes back to what I'd said at the beginning, that the partner will have a knowledge of your business in a way that a standard G Suite support won't. You'll very often get, not necessarily that first line support. You maybe get a higher tier of support from a partner. and a better engagement, because they will know your business, they will know your specific G Suite environment and how it's set up. So when you log a support ticket with Damson, for example, we can see the particular settings that you have in place. We can see the previous support tickets that you've logged. And so it just allows us to engage with you at a different level and offer that higher tier of support to customers. And it tends to be that our support team will have a very high level of knowledge of Google's products. And so that's very often what customers are looking for, particularly larger companies. Enterprise customers will be looking for that type of support and be engaging with ourselves on advanced support for that. And then the last area, although I'm putting it at the end because I don't feel it's the most important, but it is something to mention, that you can very often get discounts from your Google partner. So a lot of Google partners, same as ourselves, will bundle products together, and maybe that will make it cheaper. If you buy backup product direct, you might pay one price. But if you buy, a backup product and you buy G Suite and you buy, maybe something like Cloud Manager, a Google partner might bundle those together with their support, for example, and maybe discount the price of their support. So you can very often get a better price for a product from a Google partner. I wanted to finish off with a couple of FAQs or objections that we tend to get from customers when they're kind of considering moving over to us as a Google partner. So the first one that we often get is, am I not better off being direct with Google? Because if I'm direct with Google, then I'm going to get a better response time, or I'm going to get better support. And it's a understandable question, and the answer is actually the opposite. So if you're a direct customer, you're one of a million customers logging a support ticket or saying that you've got this issue or challenge in this giant company that very often it can be difficult to get in contact with. If you've got a Google partner attached to your account, then what that means is that you've got an advocate almost within Google, because Google partners have contacts within Google. They have a direct line into Google if they're a good Google partner. And so they will actually be able to advocate on your behalf, not just do simple things like maybe escalate a support ticket, but use their contact base to get the particular challenge or problem that you have solved for you. And we have done this many, many times for customers when there's been particular issues, whether it's with something as simple as billing or the actual platform, or maybe they're trying to do something very specific to their organization or some specific integration. And we've actually gotten through our contacts in Google, gotten a special engineer who was maybe focused on a particular product to jump on a call with the customer, and they were actually off in another region, and give specific advice to that customer. Now, that's not something that customer would have been able to do on their own, but because they had a Google partner like ourselves, they explained the issue to us. We spoke to Google, and Google set up this particular meeting. And the other important thing to remember is that your relationship with Google doesn't change. So you still have a direct relationship with Google, and you can still log support tickets with them, and you can still do everything you could before. But now, as I said, you've got that advocate on your side. And then the final area is a company that maybe says, we're techies, we can do this ourselves. And I can understand that, and that's a comment that we often get. And that is true, but the way to kind of think about it is that you can obviously do the basics in terms of administering the Google account, setting it up, all that kind of stuff. But a Google partner has that in-depth knowledge. They live and breathe this every single day, and they are passionate about it. And so what that means is that it's kind of the same as us maybe saying, we're going to use your app in our business, and we might have the knowledge to set it up and manage it and stuff like that, but we're not going to know it as well as you would. And so it's the same with Google. An IT person is probably going to be able to figure out how to do the basics, but they're not going to have that level of knowledge that a Google partner will, who is, as I said, is passionate about it and lives and breathes it every single day. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this week's update. I think it's an interesting time to look back and do this retrospective on the last 10 years of the Google Partner Program. It has changed so much in the last 10 years. We've gone from one product to dozens of products, and we've gone from only a handful of partners to tens of thousands of partners or thousands of partners around the world. I'm excited to see where the next 5 or 10 years brings us. I'm excited to work with more customers on G Suite and Google's products. And I'm also excited to collaborate more and more with the ecosystem, the incredible ecosystem of partners that exists within the area of Google and Google's products. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this week's update. I'm looking forward to talking to you